kind of interesting. I wonder if I can do that in the latter half. So if let's try it. I liked this. Did I get the octave on that? I didn't. I like this. I think there's some chord tones in this that are being produced that aren't fully there. So I'm just going to quantize this to nearest quarter note. And then now that we are here, I actually think I want it. I do think there's some chord tones in here, which makes sense because this is a million different layers created that are not doing. So I'm going to take out the steel and the bird whistle and probably the soprano textures. And I'm actually going to, just for the sake of this, I'm going to cut out some of the lows and some of the highs. So it's like band passed, right? Which kind of sounds like a radio signal. And it's going to be just like a cool texture on the latter half of the whole piece. And then we'll just have the E hit right at the end with everything else. So... Except that's totally not the right chord pacing. Where am I? I'm off by a bar. I'm off by a bar. Cool. Let's see if we can do some interesting like spy stuff. So that's too thriller. I don't know. Let's just click some random stuff. I don't know. I liked it at the beginning. I didn't like it as much the latter half. I think it started to conflict with the weird harmonies too much. I think it can leave right there. I don't know, y'all want to have some fun with this? What if actually on the whole last section we went into like 808, almost trap kind of stuff? Let's try that. I think that's cool, actually. I think that's actually quite cool. I think these need to be up an octave, unfortunately, because just the way that's going to hit. One of the things I will need to do is actually make that like an 808 pumping with some kind of kick drum Oh, you know what I'll do? This is getting into mixing, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have basically a sidechain compression on this for the bass spiccatos that are hitting right there. No, bass colineos. Bass colineos. So when they hit, it's going to feel like this is ducking, basically. So... Did I put the right thing? BBC bass colonial. Yeah, it's just not hitting that hard, I guess. For some reason, that is not triggering. Why is that not triggering? That's very interesting. There it is. The problem with that is it's actually hitting with the second hit too, and I really don't want it to hit with the second hit. I'll just leave it for now and solve that in mixing later. So cool. So we got some like trap synth bass thing going on there. That's totally gonna work. Great. I like this idea. I wonder if we can do, what other stuff do I already have like preloaded? I do like this sound. Yeah, what if I took this and maybe? That's, because of the delay, we might run into some problems, but let's hear it. Yeah, we're gonna run into some chord tone problems there, and I think we already might be running into some chord tone problems that we're just not hearing. Right there, it's getting too spicy on the latter half of whatever the heck is going on here. I think, does that have to be a B natural instead? I think it actually does have to be a B natural, which is slightly annoying. And that means I have to do it for this one too. And one of the ways that you can always do this, and I'll just go ahead and do it now, is I'm selecting these and then I'm looking at the cello line too, so I can see where things are conflicting potentially. Right, that's working way better. So here's what I'll do. If I like that interesting sound, which it's kind of okay. It's definitely in that like sci-fi spy kind of thing. So what I can do is take this idea, copy this here, and let's just do like, oh, you know what? I'll do some like sound designy stuff. So it could just copy. But I'm gonna put a trance gate on this. Free plugin, by the way. It's free now. And now it's gonna get way matching. Yeah. Right. So now I want, we already have that big wild winds hit right here, but I want something bigger. So, and I need it on an E. So this specific plugin, how it works is the note is determined not by these, but by these. So. we try something like that? Don't like that as much. Kind of just like that. Right. So we'll hit that every time that Wild Winds also hits. So basically at 23 and 31. And then I think we want some kind of bass texture that's filling. That's kind of an interesting sound. What is preloaded there? Too slow on the attack there. Don't love this. Let's do, I don't know, is there something else we can do here? I mean, there's a million basses and stuff, but like, can we make an interesting sound is the question. Let's go back to Ashlight for this one too. See if there's anything there. Pulses, maybe? Don't love it. That's cool. I'm gonna do a little rhythmic sound design stuff on it though. So that's actually really cool. Let's try something like that. That's not in time is the problem with that being not. I think it's theoretically supposed to be in time, but it's totally not. Yeah, I kind of actually really like that though. Just following the root notes. It's definitely getting buried in the mix, but it's going to be cool later, I think. I'm going to keep it, and if it becomes a problem, it becomes a problem. But I think it's going to be fine. Oop, did I do that correctly? I sure did. Okay. What's funny is I said I was trying to design a bass, and actually I don't want the bass frequencies of that. I want something. Actually, I want to distort this more. If I had a delay on it. Yeah, I think that's kind of a cool, interesting sound. I need that delay feedback to not be so strong though. Okay. And I may end up deleting some of these. So I definitely think I want some big fat bass thing, but that would be this. Or let's see, what if I just make one myself basically? So what if I like run this through, oh, I almost don't want to open this plugin because it's CPU intensive, but we'll see. So the idea is if I just load up Guitar Rig 7 here, run it through like a bass amp, and then see if it actually input sources, bass, genres. I don't know. Let's like make it metal or something. Now it's compressed all get out. See if I can. What bass even is this that I'm using? Let's run it through Fury. Yeah. Transcade it. Probably at quarter note speed or eighth note. Sounds a little one-dimensional to me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah. And so, not that. Can't stand that one. You know what? I don't actually like what we're doing here. So let's come up with something different. I don't like the direction that went. So let's use, what's a different bass sound that we can use? Like a synth bass. Let's open up something from Massive X and see if we can just come up with something. Let's just find, yeah. Well, that's basically nearly perfect. Let's first try. Okay, Massive X bass. I don't like how it does the delay necessarily. I could probably go into the parameters of this and edit it. If you're new to synthesizers, this is very intimidating. I'm not the newest to synthesizers, and this is still very intimidating. Lots of settings. Basically just have it copy this, and then I think what part of our problem is we did this with the trap thing, and it's making us lose our hit at the for the latter half, and so I think it's gonna hit better if we. Yep. So I'm gonna keep this, but I'm gonna move it up an octave. Now we're getting nasty. Yep. And everything is quite loud because things are adding up. But let's just like make this full on cinematic and stuff. Let's do some more percussion at the beginning. So because there's basically no percussion, I think it would be fun to do some like fast percussion. So let's do a little bit of something like that. Ooh, I don't know what I'm doing here, actually. I think that was the idea. See, when you're dealing with latency and dealing with playing and all the different things, it loads weird, but... No. Is that 30-second notes I want? What did I want? Tika-tika-ta. Yeah, that's pretty good. So basically what I did is on the second one, I moved it to the upbeat. And the reason I did that was to just make it slightly more interesting as it repeats. And so then if it starts there, it's going to there, and then there. didn't actually love it, so I'm just gonna move it back and keep it as is. So not upbeat. Maybe there though. Maybe on the actual. It's kind of fun. Okay, we'll keep that. I 100% want like trap hi-hats. So let's just see if I can pull off something like that very quickly. I don't even know what kit I would use. Let me think about this. Actually, that's an actual 808, isn't it? Or an 808 emulator. Clean kit. Yes and no. Yeah, there's our, that's not the typical spot for a. So for something like this, I would probably just typically, definitely step input. So if we're doing that, I would do it on probably the second half of it. Yeah, it's working quite nicely actually. That's pretty cool. Yeah, for this very last ending, we definitely need a riser into it. So we need a swell like we did before. So it's going to be something right here. Definitely need that. If I was really, really getting dramatic with this, I would do like way more. And actually, I might even do another one right here as like a fun cutoff. So I'm going to time stretch this so it's smaller, pitch shift it up like a little bit, and then like have everything cut off right there, which that'll be a mixed decision, but I want to. Emergence decided it still wanted to play there, but the idea is that it would cut off right there entirely. No, you still just want to. So it would be something like turn the volume down and then. Piano would cut off too. We'll do that in the mixing phase when we get to that. Cool. So I think we have sort of an interesting idea happening here. We are at about a minute of music, right? A little over a minute of music. Sort of an interesting idea. I'm curious if there's any other fun like hybrid stuff that we could do. I want to do almost more synthesis at the beginning, but I'm not sure it's gonna work. Let me listen to that intro one more time. Yeah, let me, I was thinking like a guitar. Let me do like a guitar kind of sound. Does that want to load? Oh, it's not loading right now. It's taking a hot minute to load. Okay. Kind of interesting, actually. Yeah, that's kind of a cool extra addition. Just sitting on the E right there, and then actually before this starts, I want that transition to happen. So I'm actually going to take that same swell that we used before. Let's do the shorter one this time, and then right into bar 5, which is really our bar 1. Everything else I go pick up. Those cellos are kind of thin on their own, so let me get like a, I don't want a full wild wind, but let me get like a bass drum. We need something bigger. Need the nagado. Lower velocity so it hits deeper. This cello note is slightly delayed and it's bugging me, so I'm going to bring it up a little bit. This is what you got to do sometimes. I might be able to hit this once with the basses as well to try to hit that impact, because we're hitting some sample issues here. So yeah. And then we can use a very quiet wild winds if we want right there, but I'm hesitant to use them too much. You never want to use them too much. You lose the impact of it if you do. Let's try. I actually think we're making something work that's not working. I think it worked better when we didn't have the riser. Or am I just silly and it's this that's not quantized? I might just be silly because I've been writing for 2 hours. Yep, that's the thing, that was the problem. Almost want this lower. Does it have it? Sure doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I actually don't like that rhythm on it. I think I want to just... Yeah, it's already got rhythm to it. actually, now I'm realizing I want even more. There's too much reverb on that, bro. Remove all that reverb. Oh, there was a... I can make that work, I think. Can I do something with Mysteria here? And probably. If I copy this and get a different sound here. To be honest with you, I actually don't know the settings that I'm adjusting here. I'm just sort of messing with stuff to come up with a cool sound. Right, and now that that's on there, I actually want to take it to the next level and add another rhythmic element. Yep, and then let's add a chopper. This feels a little too aggressive. Yeah, there's some interesting sounds here, but it's pretty aggressive on top. Transgate, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually gonna even come through or not, but it's kind of interesting. So these two together. I need another hit on this one, but the problem is, if you'll remember with this library, it's not doing that, so it needs to go to I need to actually program in that it's going to a C note right there, so it needs to be a C somewhere in the pits, something like that. And it's like a key switch. Right, so then this one needs to be programmed to make sure it's an E, and then that, oop, told you I hit that key all the time. Open it back up. So it's those, and then that can be duplicated, so. Yeah. So I think that's pretty good, actually, for a start of like full orchestral hybrid thing. We're using the entire orchestra and we're mixing a bunch of different hybrid sounds and styles and stuff in there. In the next time I do this, I'm going to be mixing the entire thing. As you can see, things are peaking and stuff because I'm actually just writing too loud right now. Typically, you would gain stage it lower, but I'm not in my normal template, and I was just writing to write. So typically, you would gain stage things lower from the beginning. Oftentimes, I'll have things just, even in my real template, I'll be honest, sometimes I just gain stage it poorly from the beginning because it's a hassle to have my entire system raised really loud when I'm writing with quiet things. So I typically just lower everything later at basically the same ratio, and I'll show that whole concept. But yeah, I think this is kind of interesting. And I think, let me just go ahead and lower everything now if I can. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll just lower the stereo out so it doesn't peak that if we can avoid doing that. And that way we can actually hear what's happening here. So I think this is actually pretty good. And obviously that piano would not ring out, although it's kind of a cool effect to ring out there, and then it looped. Actually, not a bad loop either. That's actually kind of looping pretty well with that piano tail going into that. So yeah, that's hybrid orchestral writing, just literally from scratch through the steps. I don't always start with full orchestra. In fact, I don't even really recommend it. If you're scoring hybrid, I generally just write what makes sense to me. So I write what I write. So instead of using double basses, sometimes I'll just go straight up to a synth bass. Instead of using orchestral percussion, almost always I'm using like cinematic library percussion stuff. But I wanted to make sure with this specific one, I used the entire orchestra and added some stuff to it and made it work in to showcase just the full orchestra. But yeah, typically in hybrid scoring, I don't even use the full orchestra. Typically, it's like a 50% thing. It's like 50-50, like half the orchestra, depending, which is usually strings and brass for me specifically. And then the other half is going to be hybrid stuff like cinematic percussion, synthesizers, choirs with weird distortion on them, all sorts of stuff like that. But yeah, so that's going to be hybrid orchestral scoring. Thanks for watching.